Cruise Celebrity Ascent Edition. Well, we are officially ready to start the Celebrity Ascent edition of Let's Cruise, and today is our travel day. So good morning, BNA. So we have arrived at BNA at 3 a.m. That is why you do not see anybody, because the normal people are not at the airport at 3 a.m. But we had an early flight, so we were there at 3 a.m. No problems finding a parking spot in the closest garage to the airport. So no issues there. Went straight, found a parking spot. Was a good parking spot, actually close to the elevators. So we were ready to go into the airport, fairly quickly. But it was a ghost town in the parking lot. I will say that. I think I saw one other car that was looking for a parking spot. Let's get inside. It's travel day. Here we go. Hello to my mom. She is my travel partner for this trip. We did have some time to kill before the flight, so we got a couple of bottles of water. We brought snacks with us so that we were well taken care of, because we knew we were there early enough that the most places would not be open for breakfast, and we were correct. Most of them do not open until 5:30, and we were already on the plane by then. So we had decided that we would just wait and get breakfast at Tampa, because we have a little bit of a layover in Tampa. So we thought we'll get breakfast in Tampa and just snack at the airport or on the plane before we get there. We also made sure we went to the restroom before we got on the plane, because I don't know about y'all, but bathrooms on the plane, they just aren't the best. It's cramped space, and it's just a bathroom plane. So we made sure that we did that. We like to sit by the window, and that typically means that we'll take the middle seat. I hate to be that person that asks the aisle person to get up like multiple times. Like if there are two of us traveling together and we both have to end up going to the bathroom, we have inconvenienced this person who is sitting in the aisle to get up so that we can go to the bathroom. And if you are the person by the window, not only has the person by the aisle, but the person in the middle has also had to get up. So I just hate to be that person. So we always go before we get on the plane. So that we don't have to get up like a gajillion times. Because, you hit turbulence sometimes, you gotta go. So one of the reasons that we like to take the early flights is because it's a less of a chance for delays. However, that is a catch-22, because leaving the house at 2 a.m. to arrive at the airport by 3 a.m. for a 5:20 flight is the worst in that moment. But once you get started and everything. So it wasn't even daylight when we took off. So this is a picture of us actually leaving the gate and getting ready to taxi to the runway. So if you do have an early flight, I hope you have a great crew, because this flight crew was great. The captain addressed us first before we left, and then he went to the cockpit. He was just thanking us for flying, so early, which was funny because we were all like, what? We had a really great flight crew, and they were funny, and they basically told us a bedtime story. And so she did it like in chapters. It was really good. But the last picture here, you see where it's dark again in the cabin. she said good night and told us to go to sleep. And then the lights went out and off we went. If there's one really good thing about an early morning flight, it is being able to watch the lights of the city fade as the sun rises. So don't miss these little things. Take the positives from when you have to be up so early. So she'll tell you that she can't sleep on the plane, but a picture's worth 1,000 words. So our flight to Tampa was a little less than 2 hours. So there was plenty of chances to, get a decent nap in. At this point, though, I was awake and I was excited about our trip and I could not sleep. So I didn't even try. So Southwest is using these new bamboo cups for their drinks. It works for cold or hot drinks. It didn't sweat with a cold drink in it, which was nice. And I give them 2 thumbs up. Nice job, Southwest. So we arrived into Tampa with, guess what? Cloud coverage. Nevertheless, it was a decent landing. And the first order of business when we got off the plane was, you guessed it, find the bathroom. So we found the bathroom. Second thing was to find our gate, and then we were off to breakfast. Well, 2 out of 3 isn't bad. There was a restaurant right across from our gate that served breakfast, and we were going to eat there until I went to look at the menu. $20 for bacon and eggs. Y'all, I just can't spend $20 for bacon and eggs. I know that eggs have gone up, but come on. And I know the airport food is expensive, so I get that, but $20 for bacon and eggs. So I checked our time, and we decided that we would just finish up eating our snacks and get a new drink, and just wait until lunch to eat our first meal of the day. Because, airport food is just so overpriced. So I did a little work while we waited to board the plane. And before you knew it, it was already time to board, or so we thought. So we went over and noticed that we didn't even have a plane yet. And so the plane was late arriving. And then they had to, deboard, and then we had to board. And so we did all of that. And at this point, you would expect that we are getting ready to have our little instructions from the flight crew and start backing away from the gate. But I noticed that the pilot was not in the cockpit. We had all boarded, we were ready to go, but there was an issue. And so the pilot came on the intercom and he said that they had overfueled the plane and they were trying to decide what they wanted to do. They what? Who ever heard of them overfueling the plane? That was a first for me. So what they decided was to switch us with the plane that was right beside us at the next gate. I kind of figured something was up because I had the window seat or I could see out the window because I was in the middle. Sorry, my mom had the window seat. And the luggage ramp pulled back up to the plane. So I knew something was up. So basically what we had to do was get off the plane, go over to the next gate, and wait for them to be all prepped and for us to board that plane. So we were about an hour or so late taking off, but finally we were able to take off and head to Fort Lauderdale. So this right here, folks, is why I suggest that you fly in the day before your cruise. We were fine. We had no worries because our cruise did not leave until the following day. But there were so many on our flight that were leaving on a cruise that day. Now, I do believe they all still made it. I feel like that we still made it in time for them to be able to get there, especially since we watched all of the ships sail away from our room. and that's coming up later. But I do feel like they all made their ship. But there were some very nervous people that were afraid they were not going to make it. And some of them might have been cutting it pretty close. But nevertheless, I feel like they all did make it. It's just one less stressful thing off of my plate to come in the day before. And then I don't have to worry about that. If there is a delay, it's not going to affect me getting on my cruise ship. I absolutely love this photo. I took this photo from the plane. How cool is that? Hello, Port Everglades. So you can see the Sun Princess is already in the port. I have an arrow pointing to the Sun Princess. And then our hotel, the Hilton Marina, is right across the street from Terminal 2. And so you have a really great view of Port Everglades from the hotel. I couldn't see the other ships from the plane at this point from where we were, but we'll see those later. And so I can't wait to see what other ships are in port. Also, I can't wait to watch the Sun Princess leave. So if you don't know, Sun Princess is the newest ship from Princess Cruise Lines. And so it's the first time that I've gotten to lay eyes on the Sun Princess. And I really hope that we are in our room by the time that they leave so we can watch them sail away. Well, after we grabbed our luggage at the airport, I ordered our Uber and it arrived in like 5 minutes or less, something like that. And then we were off to the hotel. I will say it was an eventful ride to the hotel, but we made it just fine. Now, I had already checked into the hotel using the Hilton app. So if you're a Hilton member and have not used this feature yet, it is great if it is available at your hotel. So it lets you select your room, which is what we did the last time we stayed here. And we really enjoyed the floor that we were on. So we were on the same floor, different room this time. But we dropped off our bags at the front and they kept them for us while we were waiting for our room to be ready. We did go ahead and stop by the front desk to let them know that we were on property and we were going to go have lunch, and followed up with them. We got the cruise fare, which included breakfast and shuttle. So we followed up with them on that, about how to do that. They gave directions for both, and they gave us a voucher for the shuttle and told us about what time that arrived in the morning and what time it left. And then it was time for us to head off to lunch. And boy, were we starving. So we have stayed here before, and so we knew that we would be having lunch at the pool at the hotel. So if we hadn't been so tired, and if the pool hadn't been so crowded, we probably would have stayed by the pool for quite a while. But the pool was definitely crowded, so you could tell that spring break had started. So as you can see behind me, there's quite a few palm trees. So this area is fairly shaded. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to get some sunlight in certain areas. And they tried to put the table umbrellas over those tables. But we had great coverage from the palm trees, and it was very pleasant because, it can get kind of hot in Fort Lauderdale, especially with the sun beating, directly down on you. So let's talk the menu for this restaurant. It is slightly limited, but still plenty of choices. So Mom had the cheeseburger and I had the quesadilla. This place for us is just so convenient because we don't have to leave the property, and it's good food. We ate there the last time we stayed here. We ate there this time, both times really good food. A little slow maybe especially if they're really busy. But I mean, you get to enjoy the nice atmosphere, so it makes up for that. So, as we were finishing our lunch, we did get the notification through the app that our room was ready and we could proceed to the room and just use my phone to open the door. Now, the last time we were here, that option wasn't working for some reason. I don't remember why, but it didn't work last time. And so we thought, well, we're going to give it a try. So we went and collected our luggage and we went upstairs and we got it to work. It took a second to get to open, but we figured it out. because it was the first time I had used that feature with the app. But yeah, it was very convenient, very quick, and we were in our room. Okay, our room this time is exactly like it was last time, so I did not record another video, but I'm going to pop in the video from the last time we were here so you can see what the room looks like. So it was just 2 of us this time, but we had the exact same setup, except it was like opposite side. So here you go. We made it to Fort Lauderdale, and I have a surprise for you. All right, right across from us. Oh no, it's not gonna let me. Oh, it's not gonna let me turn it around. Okay. Do you see that? That, my friend, is the Sun Princess. So she is a huge new ship, the biggest princess ship, and she's going to be leaving in a little while. So when she gets ready to sail away, I think it's at 3 o'clock, which is shortly, I will record that so you can see that. Yeah, and I'll figure out how to turn this around. Apparently I didn't notice. But anyway, we made it. We're here. Just got checked into our room, had lunch, all the fun things. Interesting travel tales to tell with our flights today, but we'll talk about all of that later. Catch you later. Bye. So here is a look at yachts and other ships that are either sailing the canals in Fort Lauderdale or are in port. You can see Celebrity Apex. That is a sister ship to Celebrity Ascent that we will be going on. So our ship will look just like that. And also behind that is one of the Holland America ships that were in port. Now these were not the only ships that were in port, but just 2 that I grabbed in that picture. And this is why I love staying at the Hilton, because I absolutely love watching all the boats and the ships come in and out. And after a busy day of travel, to me, this is a wonderful way to unwind. I hope you enjoyed watching a few of the ships sail away. It's always one of my favorite things to do. Thanks for joining us on our travel day, and on the next episode, you can expect to see early port arrivals, transfer to the port, and embarkation day. I can't wait. And until next time, enjoy the view. Thank you for watching Let's Cruise Celebrity Ascent Edition. Be sure to visit us at enjoytheviewtravel.com and click the like, share, notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode.